59. Vinapani pustakadari Devi Kalyani Palayama. Vinapani pustakadari Devi Kalyani Palayama. 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 Vindapani pustakadari Devi Kalyani Palayama. Vinapani pustakadari Devi Kalyani Palayama. 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 Vinapani pustakadari Devi Kalyani Palayama. Vinapani pustakadari Devi Kalyani Palayama. 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 Vinapani pustakadari Devi Kalyani Palayama. Vinapani pustakadari Devi Kalyani Palayama. 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 Devi Kalyani
dedicate this song, this chant, to the energy of forgiveness. Because sometimes they think that to forgive someone it's really difficult, but I think the most difficult thing is so the most difficult thing is forgive yourself. So I only want to invite this energy to this room, to our hearts, and help us to let go something heavy, maybe difficult, or maybe not pleasant. And of course, forgive me, because I think it would be wrong words and wrong melody.
Everything wrong.
But I really will be trying. At the page 66.
Chinananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chinananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Manavuriyam Karachita Padam Nachopast
Page number 25. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari 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 Bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda Bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari 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 Bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda Bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda Bol. Gopala Bol, Govinda Bol. Gopala Bol, Govinda Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda Bol. Gopala Bol, Govinda Bol. Shiva Bol, Shiva Bol, Shiva Shiva Bol. Shiva Bol, Shiva Bol, Shiva Shiva Bol. Shiva Shankara Sri Mahadeva Bol. Shiva Shankara Sri Mahadeva Bol. Shiva Bol, Shiva Bol, Shiva Shiva Bol. Shiva Shankara Sri Mahadeva Bol. Neelakanta Bol, Mahadeva Bol. Neelakanta Bol, Mahadeva Bol. Neelakanta Bol, Mahadeva Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari 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 Bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda Bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda Bol. Gopala Bol, Govinda Bol. Gopala Bol, Govinda Bol. Shiva Bol, Shiva Bol, Shiva Shiva Bol. Shiva Bol, Shiva Bol, Shiva Shiva Bol. Shiva Shankara Sri Mahadeva. Shiva Shankara Sri Mahadeva Bol. Neelakanta Bol, Mahadeva Bol. Neelakanta Bol, Mahadeva Bol. Neelakanta Bol, Mahadeva Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Kesava
Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Om Bolo Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Namah Shivaya. Very good evening to everyone. So today we start a new topic, and the topic is Harmonious Nourishment, the yogic approach to diet. And so Ksenia ji was singing a beautiful song this evening, and if you looked at the translation, one of the lines said, "I am not the food, I am not the eater, I'm not." So it was mentioned that I'm not the one who eats, I'm not the food itself, and I'm not this body. But in order for us to really realize that, not only intellectually, but truly realize it as our own realization, we need to prepare our minds. And to prepare our minds, food is very, very essential. So it's quite funny that food is leading us towards the process where we can identify ourselves being not the food and not the eater of the food. So there is a beautiful chapter in this book of Bliss Divine where Swami Shivananda ji talks almost about every subject in the universe from A to Z. And one chapter speaks about food, and it's very, very inspiring how this self-realized yogi approaches this subject. You know, Swami Vidyanandaji once said, one of our teachers, she said, if one day I would have to go to a very lonely island and I'll be allowed to take only one book with me, this will be the Bliss Divine. Because it has so much inside of it that you can definitely stay with it for so long time and be, you know, keep being very inspired. So Swamiji said, he's mentioning something from one of the Upanishads, which are the highest philosophical treatises of yoga. Sage Udalaka instructs his son Svetaketu, food when consumed becomes threefold. The gross particles become the excrement, the middle ones flesh, and the fine ones the mind. My child, when curd is churned, its fine particles which rise upwards form butter. Thus, my child, when food is consumed, the fine particles which rise upwards form the mind. Hence, verily, the mind is food. So, anyone who takes the spiritual path seriously knows that the actual work is the work with the mind. In the beginning, we work with our bodies, we practice different postures, we work with our breath, we work with our voice, we do so many different things. But the more we stay on the path, the more we see that the actual work is with our own mind, as the mind is the cause of the problem and the mind is the cause of the solution. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Swamiji was sharing with us yesterday from chapter 6 from the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, you know, your mind is your worst enemy and your mind is your best friend. So when we have control over the mind, life becomes much easier, first of all. Then we can have glimpses of the true reality. Eventually we can go beyond the mind itself and realize our true nature, which is beyond the mind. So the mind is quite an important tool on this process. And so we hear here Swami Shivanandaji saying that the mind is actually the food that we eat. What constitutes the mind? What constitutes these thoughts in the mind? So he explains how anything we eat has these three parts. One which goes out of the body, one which stays and becomes this flesh, and one which becomes the thoughts. And so this is quite an interesting thing, you know, to really stop for a moment before we eat whatever we eat and ask ourselves, would I like this to be my thoughts? All right, because here in the ashram, it's really inspiring to see everything so fresh and so tasty and so vibrant and full of nutrients, etc. But at home, sometimes we don't have the time or the inspiration to cook our own food, and so it becomes maybe not the highest priority, you know, in our daily schedule. But Swamiji is saying that it's quite important. If we want to go on this spiritual path, food will definitely affect our other practices. So if the food is not conducive, if the food is not supporting our practices, it can be quite disastrous. We want to practice meditation, but if we ate something very heavy before, the mind just, we don't find anyone to speak with. It's just very heavy or very agitated, right? So according to the food we eat, the mind behaves. And the more we are observing that, the more we can see that it's actually true. And so, okay, we'll continue and then share a bit more. So Swamiji says, mind is form of the subtlest portion of the food. If the food is impure, the mind also becomes impure in its workings. This is the dictum both of the ancient sages of India and of modern psychologists. That food does wield a tremendous influence on the mind can be seen in everyday life around us. After a heavy, sumptuous, indigestible meal, it is very difficult to control the mind. It runs, wanders, jumps like an ape all the time. Alcohol causes great excitement in the mind. So Swamiji starts showing us that the different foods have different influences over our mind. And it's interesting to pay attention to that and choose what type of food, what kind of food we would like. And the answer is in the Bhagavad Gita. So in the next paragraph, Swamiji shares the teaching in the Bhagavad Gita. Diet is of three kinds, namely sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, the food which is dear to each is threefold. So now he starts explaining, and just a brief explanation about the gunas. Maybe some people here are not familiar. So the yogis explain that the whole nature that we see around us and also within us is threefold. It's these three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. And these three energies, they are constantly in a dance. And in chapter 14 of the Bhagavad Gita, they are described beautifully. Whenever I read this chapter, I see them as, you know, these three beautiful energies. And actually, I want to share with you that one day, I'm so inspired by this 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita that I decided I must make it into a colored book. So I started painting, you know, each verse in a different picture. And then I thought, oh, it will be nice to have like a book with just drawings, you know, the Gita in drawings. And I asked one of our Shivananda teachers in Israel, who is amazing artist, I asked her to help me. And we created a book on the 14th chapter. It's really, really sweet. And then we decided to do with 2 more chapters. Like the vision was to do the whole Bhagavad Gita, all the 18 chapters in drawings. Because I feel many people are, including myself, many years ago, it was so hard for me to understand the Gita. And I felt like I cannot find my approach, to these verses. So through drawing, it became much more accessible for me. So this 14th chapter is something really easy for drawing and for seeing, because Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna how each guna is another quality inside of us and outside of us. And so tamas, for example, is this energy of, first of all, matter, right? So everything which is gross. And then energy of darkness, of lethargy, of depression, of heaviness, of laziness, of this stagnation. So if we want to describe a tamasic room, for example, this is a very dirty room, maybe having some spider webs, maybe dead cockroaches, maybe leftover food, from a few days ago. Can you feel this energy? So this is tamasic energy, something very, very stagnant and not so nice to approach. And when this energy comes to our own mind, it feels like depression, it feels like stagnation, it feels like laziness, like this non-ability to move, to do anything. So it's an energy. And this is tamas. Then the second one is rajas. And this is this energy, this haphazard energy, right? Moving everywhere. And so if we want to give example of rajasic room, we would say each wall is different color, and there is a very, very, very loud music, and everyone is shouting and dancing and throwing cushions, and this is rajas. So just imagine this inside your head now. So when the mind is rajasic, it's filled with desires and passions, and I want this and I want that and I need that, and then even if we achieve something, still the mind is not satisfied and we want another thing. So this energy really drives us crazy, this rajas. But it's much higher than the tamas. Can you see this this messy energy is much higher than this stagnation. And then so for many people all over the world, when they live their lives with a lot of tamas, the rajas become something to aspire for. This energy of constant doing, constant achievement, constant project. So it's something that uplifts us. But the yogis know that there is something higher than the rajas, and this is the sattva energy. So sattva is this energy of purity, of intelligence, of happiness, of clarity, of concentration, of harmony, of balance. And so if we want to describe a sattvic room, we would say it's a very clean room, very organized, very balanced. Maybe there is a nice incense smell. Maybe there is a nice music that Ksenia ji puts before the meditation starts. Maybe the colors are very pleasant to the eyes and harmonizing. And imagine now this energy inside our minds. So, of course, this sattvic energy will manifest itself as a very pure mind, as a very happy mind. It's very interesting. When we are rajasic, we constantly need something to be happy, but when the mind is sattvic, it's just happy by its own nature, because this is its nature. It doesn't really need anything from outside. It's just the nature of the mind itself. And then there is a lot of concentration in such a mind. So if we have a sattvic mind, it's much easier to concentrate, to meditate, to focus the mind. So this sattva, as you can see, after observing all the 3 gunas, the sattva becomes the queen of the gunas, because this is the guna that will lead us towards our highest states of meditation and eventually liberation. So I remember Swami Swarupanandaji, our teacher, saying that the beginning of the yogic practices, which can be many lifetimes, many years, it's only cultivating sattva, 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 sattva in everything. Sattva in whatever you wear, sattva in whatever you do, sattva in whatever you hear. all the senses should become fed by sattvic food. So whatever you hear, whatever you smell, whatever you see, whatever you eat, right? So this is another food. So it's not only the food that we taste and eat that should become sattvic, but actually all the senses should be fed with sattvic food. So here in the ashram again, it's such a paradise of sattva, right? So we hear mantras from morning till evening, from the satsang to the workshops to the yoga classes to the evening satsangs. So the ears are constantly absorbed in these beautiful vibrations. So instead of gossip and all the, backbiting and the news and everything else, suddenly the mind is constantly absorbed to this very, very sattvic food through the ears, and then the sight, right? So many times when we are outside, so many advertisements and at work, different scenes. But in the ashram, we see anywhere we go, every 2 steps, there is a picture of a deity, manifest one of the aspects of the divine. And here we have the pictures of the master. So constantly the eyes are exposed, and this is food for the eyes, the colors, the pictures. So again, we are fed very naturally, without even doing anything, just taking few steps, we are fed by this very, very sattvic energy. And then, of course, the food itself. So the food for the building blocks of this body. And again, in the ashram, it's such a sattvic, wonderful food. So in the next satsang, we're going to share what are these foods. What will be the tamasic foods that when we eat them, the mind becomes very lethargic, very, very dull, very heavy, depressed. What are the rajasic foods which will agitate the mind and cause it a lot of restlessness? And what are the sattvic foods that when we eat them, the mind is inspired, uplifted, and very ready to meditate? Okay, so this will be the next few satsangs. Om Tat Sat. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Om Bolo Satguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. So we'll go through the schedule for tomorrow. And first of all, we're very happy to say that Swami Brahmanandaji is back to the ashram. And though he's not here with us right now, but we're very, very happy to have him back with us. And tomorrow, we're going to have a silent walk with Swami Shambhu Devananda. And Swamiji will continue the subject of the yoga of meditation, teaching from the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So we'll be meeting by the beach showers if the weather permits. If it will rain, we'll meet back here in the Shivananda Hall. And then 8 o'clock, a yoga class in the Shivananda Hall. 9:50, the brunch. 11 o'clock, ashram welcome and history tour. Then at 2 o'clock tomorrow, Sri Deviji will be leading a kitchery workshop, and this will be in the main kitchen. Please come with your shoes. And then at 4 o'clock, there will be another yoga class in the Shivananda Hall. 5:50, the dinner. 7 o'clock, Gita Parayana, chanting 1 chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, followed by a short study in Annapurna Devi house. And in the evening satsang, I'll continue, and I think this will be the last satsang on the harmonious nourishment, the yogic approach to diet. So now we conclude with the final prayers and the arati. Page 97. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandana Mrityo Mukshyama Mritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandana Mrityo Mukshyama Mritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva bandana mrityor mukshyamamritat. Om sarvesham swastir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashe dukhabhag bhavet, asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma mritam gamaya. Om purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti. Om peace peace peace. Universal Prayer of Swami Shivananda, page 99 in the Echan books. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Thou art Satchit Ananda. Thou art existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. Thou art the inwell of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptation to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, anger, greed, hatred, and jealousy. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold in all these names and forms. Let us serve in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember thee. Let us ever sing thy glories. Let thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in thee forever and ever. Om Bolo Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Please stand up for Arati. You can follow on page 118.
Jai Jarati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jai Jarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jai Jarati Venugopala Venugopala Venulola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jai Jarati Venkataramana Venkataramana Sangataharana Sitarama Jai Jarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Shankara Samba Sada Shiva Uma Maheshwara Jai Jarati Rajarajeshwari Rajarajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Rajarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jai Jarati Dattatreya Trimurti Avatara Jai Jarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jai Jarati Shanishwaraya Shanishwaraya Bhaskaraya Jai Jarati Shankaracharya Shankaracharya Advaita Gurave Jai Jarati Sadgurunatha Sadgurunata Shivananda Jai Jarati Vishnudevananda 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 Jai Jarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shirama Priyaye Jai Jarati Ayyappa Swamiye Ayyappa Swamiye Dharma Shastave Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jai Jarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastarbhyo Namaha Jai Jarati Venugopala Om na tatra suryavati na chandatarakam nema vidyota bandikato yamagnihi tam eva vantamanabati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvindam vibhati Om Gange Chayamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Namastabyam Namo Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Bandhus Chasaka Tvameva Vidya Dravinan Tvameva Sarvam Vadeva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarava Buddhiyan Manava Prakriti Swabhavan Karomi Yadiyat Sakalam Parasmai Nara Yanaiti Samarpayami Sarva Dharmam Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja Ahamtva Sarva Papebhyo Muksha Ishami Masucha. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you very much, everybody at home, for joining us for this beautiful evening. Satsang, have a good night and sleep.